I mean, it could be, Dan. And what's funny about that is that it would make Meghan Markle's spokesperson a liar because I believe they told GB News that no.
They told GB News there was no fashion brand coming. No fashion brand. Those were the exact words. And then somebody at Meghan Markle's team quietly uploaded a sizing chart.
Date of the launch could be looming ever closer. She writes that eagle-eyed devotees did spot a new sizing chart for t-shirts appearing on her brand's website, both for adults and kids last week, although it was swiftly deleted.
To the As Ever website, adult sizes, kid sizes, t-shirts, and then deleted it. Fast, but not fast enough. You already know what I'm about to say, because we've been watching this for years. We've seen the pivots and the relaunches and the carefully worded spokesperson statements designed to buy time while the next plan gets cooked up behind closed doors. And every single time, we were right. We all knew this was coming. We knew it before the sizing chart. We knew it before the Daily Mail started asking questions. We knew it because this is the pattern.
And I found the briefing line in Hello magazine so interesting, Brittany. I mean, Peter and Harry haven't spoken for several years and have simply lost touch. I mean, no, they haven't simply lost touch. There was a clear moment when the young royals decided to cut contact with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle.
This is always the pattern. And look, before I get into what's really going on here, I need you to understand something about the world Meghan Markle operates in. She doesn't just launch products, she constructs narratives. Carefully, strategically, with a team of people whose entire job is to manage what you think you know. So when her spokesperson gets on the phone with a major news outlet and says flat out, no fashion brand is coming, that's not a mistake. That's not a misunderstanding. That's a deliberate choice to control the timeline, to keep the public in the dark while the machine quietly gets ready. Now here's where it gets interesting. Eagle-eyed people spotted that sizing chart on her brand's website. Not a styling guide, not a general info page, a sizing chart for t-shirts, adult and kids. You don't upload a sizing chart for a product that doesn't exist. You don't build out that infrastructure for fun. And then the moment it got noticed, it vanished, deleted, gone, like it was never there. And her spokesperson, when the Daily Mail came calling for a comment, said nothing. Nothing at all. But the files don't lie. The files never lie. And this is the part nobody talks about. Because we've already watched As Ever, the lifestyle brand that was supposed to change everything, fail to move product.
Willing to try and do a fashion brand because As Ever, overall as a brand, has largely failed.
At the level she imagined. We watched her jam, we watched the candles, we watched the honey and the limited drops, and the whole carefully curated aesthetic built around a version of Meghan Markle that the public was supposed to fall in love with. And the public said, actually, no thank you. ShopMy, the shopping platform she was building her style influence through, that stalled too, quietly.
Sort of stalled now too. She's not going to make it with her own fashion brand either.
Without a press release. So now she's pivoting again. I want to slow down here for a second because honestly, and I mean this, something about this particular moment bothers me on a deeper level than just the business stuff. It's the children. Because right around the same time this fashion launch is being set up behind closed doors, Meghan posted an image that included a young girl.
That after that despicable image that Meghan Markle posted of the young girl sort of shining her shoes in her designer $250,000 wardrobe,
a child in a commercial post surrounded by a wardrobe that insiders have valued at close to $250,000. And it was styled, it was intentional, it was a post designed to sell something using the presence of a child in the frame. Let that land. Harry has testified before actual lawmakers about the psychological damage of...
Harry has literally testified before lawmakers about the psychological damage caused by media intrusion into his own childhood. Meghan has campaigned...
Being Exposed as a child for commercial purposes, Meghan has actively campaigned for children's online safety.
Actively for children's online safety legislation and backs the Responsible Technology Youth Power Fund. These are not performative positions.
Not an accident at all.
That a half-second glimpse with obscured faces is not the same as full exposure. I understand that argument. But the purpose of their inclusion was commercial. The children were used to sell something by the same two people who have made protecting children from exactly this kind of thing that one of their most public and important.
Legislation. These aren't throwaway positions. They've built platforms around protecting kids from exactly this. And then they used children in a...
No two people in public life have campaigned harder for children's online safety than Harry and Meghan. So why are their children, Archie and Lilibet, in a commercial social media post? Yes, they obscured their children's faces, as they always do, and the
commercial post to sell candles. And now, apparently, to tease a fashion line.
Including the fact that actually Meghan can't keep on launching these products around the kids if she does want to have any cohesive message. This is his latest report. Watch. But first, do you remember when...
Not an accident. Not an accident at all. Now here's the thing though. The fashion industry doesn't care about your advocacy work. It doesn't care about your titles or your Netflix deals or how many Oprah interviews you've given. Victoria Beckham, one of the most genuinely recognized fashion figures on the planet, spent years and years bleeding money before her brand came.
Oh, at this point with as ever is just simply not true. But Meghan Markle lives in the land of delusion. And so she is, I think, fully
close to turning a profit. Years. With actual fashion credentials and a global fan base that stretched across decades. And even she had to fight for every inch of credibility in that space. Meghan is entering this market without a solid business foundation, without a product track record that inspires confidence, and with a spokesperson who was just caught telling the media one thing, while the website quietly said something completely different. That's not a strong launch position. That's a compromised one. And the reason for that? Well, we'll see. Because what's buried in all of this is a larger truth about what's happening to the Montecito machine.
a lot of people do. Harry and Meghan live within a miasma of toxicity, and they spread that to everyone they have in contact with. And
right now, the production company isn't producing. The brand isn't scaling. The royal family filed the court documents. Peter Phillips didn't invite Harry to his wedding. Beatrice and Eugenie got invites while Harry and Meghan didn't. The young royals have completely...
I mean, I remember it very well, Brittany, because I was reporting on it at the time. And it was around the time when, do you remember Harry and Meghan came back for the late Queen's Platinum Jubilee? And they were at the service at St. Paul's Cathedral, which Her Late Majesty couldn't actually attend in the end. And Harry and Meghan refused to get in the van with the other royals, which was taking them to the post-lunch at the St. Paul's Cathedral event. They just refused, and they didn't actually go to the event either, where all of the more minor royals were hosting tables. And there was a very awkward scene outside St. Paul's Cathedral when Zara and Mike were standing there waiting for the van with the other royals, and Harry and Meghan tried to spark a conversation. They just didn't want to have a bar of them, because it was at that point when the younger royals decided, no, hang on a moment. There's nothing reasonable about your actions. You're
closed ranks, and every single attempt to stay relevant, to stay commercially viable, to stay connected to the royal identity that they claim they wanted to escape keeps hitting walls. And look, I've covered this long enough to notice something. The timing of these product launches, they never happen in a vacuum. They happen when the narrative needs a reset, when there's bad press to bury, when the clicks are going somewhere they don't want them going. A sizing chart gets uploaded quietly. A photo with a child in a luxury wardrobe gets posted. A spokesperson says no comment to the press. And then we're all supposed to talk about the fashion line instead of asking why the family they desperately want back in their lives keeps choosing everyone else over them. Including, by the way, the daughters of a man who is currently under arrest in connection with one of the most disturbing scandals in recent royal history. Even Beatrice and Eugenie got the invitation. Even them. Think about...
is the fact that Princess Beatrice and Eugenie have got an invite too. This now confirmed.
What that says,
I need you to stay with me here because this is the part that exposes the whole system. The PR machine around Meghan Markle has told the public direct falsehoods before. Not misstatements, not spin. Direct, documented, provable lies delivered to major media outlets and then quietly contradicted by her own website. And the reason that matters isn't just about a fashion brand. It's about a pattern of manipulation that has been covered up, buried, and silenced for years by outlets that were either too afraid or too invested to say what they actually knew. We've always known. You've always known. That's why you're here. So here's my question for you. Now that the spokesperson's been caught, now that the sizing chart has been deleted, now that the children are showing up in commercial posts despite years of public campaigns saying the opposite, do you think anyone in mainstream media is actually going to call this out directly? Or are we going to watch the files get buried again while the next product launch gets a soft landing from the same outlets that have been running cover for this operation for years? Tell me what you think. Drop it in the comments, because I genuinely want to know where you stand on this.